What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Big Just LaFlair from that Facts and Cap podcast, and once again we back, baby. Let's get to Rory Mal, man. This is a real good moment, real feel good moment, man. Real feel good moment. So, for those who know, like I've been a person who's been, watching Joe Budden podcast since day one. So I always felt like I had some kind of personal relationship with Rory and Mal and Joe and Parks, Marissa, everybody that was on that podcast. It felt like, for the fans, it felt like a family, like you felt like you was a part of something, right? Shout out to Tax Stone too. Those are the two first podcasts I ever was really listening to, right? So, we get to the point where, fast forward some years, Joe Budden's been number one, and he gets into it with Rory and Mal. They're no longer on the podcast. I don't like the way that he did them. I don't like the way he handled his business. I usually don't like the way Joe handles his business, right? So, anyway, we get to, Rory and Mal start their own shit. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not suspect for the podcast to take off like it did. They're doing like 220, 250 a week on YouTube. So they killing it, man. Salute to them. That's something I aspire to be. Follow my podcast below. It's in the link tree. Facts and Cap podcast. We dropping later on today. But anyway, so I remember when Joe fired them, he said, if you try to make another podcast, I'm gonna sue you. I guess it's like a no competition clause, or however they want to language it hit the verbiage in the contract. So they ended up doing it, and allegedly it's because they felt like if he does that, it's going to be other type of business dealings that have to come out, and it's not going to make them look good. So I understand that. So they just did a deal with Stitcher. They said they went everywhere. They talked to all platforms, and Stitcher was the best. It is $10 million deal, and it wasn't the most money, but it was the best offer. They got 100% ownership of everything. They got an ownership of their podcast. They got ownership of the visuals. So that's just even more money raking in, man. And I gotta salute those guys, man, because I thought they were done. Between Joe and academics, I thought they were done. I'm not gonna lie. So that's pie in my face, I think that them guys, they stuck to what they knew, and they became successful. Now, for me personally, what do I think about the podcast? I mean, it's okay for me. I just think it's okay, but obviously the fans love it. The people that were in the Rory hive, the Mal hive, they like it, and I respect that, man. So keep doing y'all thing, man. I think that they've gained more from the situation. I think Joe's podcast is taking a hit. While I do like, the added guest, I do like Ice and Ish. It's just something about the podcast. Really, for me personally, I don't even listen to neither one of the podcasts anymore, to be honest with you. Just because it just sounds so different. Like, both of them sound a little dull to me. Does anybody agree? It just, like, they both just sound a little dull to me. They don't sound the same anymore. It just sounds a little dry. I don't know. It could just be me, because obviously people are watching them. They're still doing about the same amount of numbers. I think the Joe Budden podcast is taking a hit. It just doesn't, like, you don't even see a trend anymore. I remember, like, when something controversial happened, Joe Budden's name would be trending all week. It just doesn't, it's not the same anymore. And hey, man, it is what it is, man. Sometimes it's time for change, and as long as they can still do business and make their money, who's really mad? But anyway, man, shout out to that Facts and Cap podcast. Y'all go subscribe below. Subscribe to this channel as well. Comment, like, share. Talk to me. I'm gonna talk back. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the podcast. Y'all think that it's gonna be here to stay, or y'all think that eventually it's gonna die out? Anyway, man, we out, baby. We out.
Subscribe for the channel.